Good evening friends, in Boyles law, now I want to explain about the different graphs. First we have to take, according to Boyles law, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. This is the Boyles law. If you draw the graph pressure versus V, this is constant. This is a, here we take temperature T, here also we take temperature Tx and Ty. What is the relation between these two? Tx is equal to Ty. Why? Because these two temperatures are same. This is a isotherm. Temperature is constant. Here, at constant temperature only pressure is inversely proportional to volume. That's why this pressure and V graph. This is the isotherm. That's why temperature of X is equal to temperature of Y. If you take another graph, pressure versus volume, if you take different temperature T1, T2, T3, here entire graph temperature remains constant T1 because isotherm. These are the isotherms. Already explained for this single temperature, but here we take three different temperatures. How can you find out the relation between these three? Here pressure versus V graph. If you take P, here it consider as a pressure is P naught. Here also pressure is imaginary line. Here pressure is remains constant. If you take from here pressure is P naught. If you take the here volume is, if you take this small volume, in this case somewhat volume is bigger. Here also P naught is remains constant but volume is increases. If you take in this case pressure, we multiply with P with V. Here pressure and V multiply with is directly proportional to NR remains constant temperature. If you multiply these two, here P naught and V, P naught and V, P naught and V, V1, if you take V1, V2, V3, which one is greater? The P naught is constant, but here volume will increases. That is directly proportional to T. Means PV is the higher the value, higher will be the T3. In this case, which is higher graph? This is T3 is greater, T2 is greater than T1. This C option is the correct one. If you take another PV versus V, if you PV means pressure volume is equal to always constant, whatever the graph, either you take V volume or either you take pressure, that is remains constant. If you in case of log you apply the log, P is equal to K by V, PV is equal to constant. If you apply the log both sides, log PV is equal to log K, log P plus log V is equal to log K, log P is equal to, if you convert log V is to other side, minus 1 into log V. Y is equal to mx plus c graph. This is the negative slope. Slope is equal to negative. This is the graph. This is 45